What is up, YouTube? It's RS Mario here, bringing you another Metal Gear Solid 5 Phantom Pain video. Alright, so what I'm going to be doing with these videos is going into Metal Gear Solid Phantom Pain. I will be doing a lot of coverage, theories, and things like that going into the game, getting everybody ready for when the game comes out, because it's going to be on the channel. I mean, this is the end of an era, the end of an epic saga in video games, which is coming to it's coming to an end here. And it's a saga I followed since my very early days in gaming. So it's kind of close to me. So I'm going to be doing coverage and theories on there. So what I'm going to be doing here is breaking down the Gamescom trailer. A lot of the trailer did have some stuff we already seen in it, but there was also a lot of stuff that we had not seen. And in regards to the last Metal Gear video I did with the E3 trailer, I never got around to finishing it. Like, I had part 2, but I lost the audio to part 2, so I had all the screenshots and everything to part 2, but I lost the audio, and if I would have re-recorded it, I would have had to redo part 1, and it was just a mess, so I just kind of left it alone. But I'm going to go in, and I'm going to continue doing it this way. So let's hop in. So the first clip we get is a clip of Afghanistan. So this right here, this shows you, like, this is probably actual gameplay footage. But this isn't like, like kind of like CG render. It's just straight up gameplay. It looks like this, and it's an open world. So you can probably hide in that little building right there. You can probably hide in the back of that truck. You can hide behind this thing right here. You can pretty much do all kinds of things in order to get around in this level and get away from people. Now this one right here was kind of interesting, because you see the sky in the background, it's all gray and kind of blah looking. It actually reminds me of that scene from the E3 trailer that I thought might have been maybe a dream sequence or something like that. But yeah, it kind of reminds me of that scene. So maybe that scene isn't a dream sequence, and maybe it's an actual mission where everything just goes to shit. Because the background looks just like the background in that scene. So maybe you get dropped off alone, and somehow, probably on the evac, you end up with, quiet, and things just go to hell after that. Now this one was also an interesting picture here. You see this compound. Now I haven't played any of Metal Gear Solid 5 like journalists and stuff like that have, so I'm not quite sure where this is. Now, to me, it looks like a possibly different place. It's probably Afghanistan, because there's a lot of rocks and palm trees and stuff. But from this footage I've seen of Afghanistan, I've never seen a spot like this. This is a big, sprawling compound. This is like something you would see like South American drug lord type of, location. But it's probably Afghanistan. But there have been rumors going around that there are 2 more locales we haven't seen. So far we've seen Afghanistan and we've seen Africa, but there's rumors that there are 2 more locations we haven't seen yet. Alright, so this one is Snake basically sneaking through. This is like, there's 2, what they have done with this is they've taken this Afghanistan mission and they've done it in day and they've done it at night for this trailer. This is the nighttime portion, because you see, of course, it's night. Over in the right hand side there's a campfire, so there's probably there's probably some enemy guards just kind of like chilling out in the night, So this is a nighttime version of the Afghanistan mission. And here's another clip. Now this one's different. This one's probably inside of the compound that you see earlier in the trailer. And another thing that's interesting about this is this guy's gear. Now this guy's wearing a pretty unique looking helmet. More than likely he's probably a Soviet, just like a higher level soldier, near the end. Maybe this is near the end of the Afghanistan level, and you get, different soldiers with different gear, or, this could be a different location, and this guy could be working for somebody completely different. Maybe he's not a Soviet, maybe he's working for Zero, we don't really know. Alright, so then we get a picture of young Mantis, basically, doing some mind trick stuff with Snake. He's just floating around, and you see wherever he is, there seems to be fire, which that we're gonna get into that just a little bit later. So this is the daytime version of him attacking the, basically attacking the compound. You see in the nighttime version he was sneaking. In the daytime version he's going in all 18 and just blasting stuff. Now here's another scene. Some interesting stuff going on here. Now I could be wrong about this, but I don't see a lot of straight up face pictures of Skullface. But in the pictures I have seen, I've never seen him with like black marks on his face. Now we know that the Skulls and Quiet all have that black mascara type of thing going when they use their powers, which basically means they can go invisible and phase shift all, Madara style, and maybe, Skullface has some sort of power as well, seeing as though he has the same black markings on his face. Now that could be a result of burns or scabs, since the his entire face is a scab at this point. But I've never seen that on his face. Another thing we see here is he's actually holding a Davy Crockett shoulder-mounted nuclear missile. Now this is the same type of nuclear missile that the boss gave Vulcan when she defected. So maybe that's another thing in this game. In the trailer, they also talk about, how Skullface is trying to become a nuclear power. So maybe, at least temporarily, he succeeds. Now this one, another one from the very beginning of the trailer, and there's one thing that really I'm going to call out in the scene in a minute. But this is from the beginning of the game. This right here is when Snake and Isaac break out of the hospital, after all hell breaks loose. And they break out of the hospital. But the main thing you want to see here is up in the top right corner, there's a PlayStation 4 controller, which basically means that you can control this scene. So now this is not just a cutscene. You're actually going to be driving this Jeep through fire and all kind of madness going on. That's going to be awesome. Now this scene right here is interesting. This one right here, this was like the thumbnail of the trailer. And I was like, what's up with this scene? Now you see, Snake's all bloody. You see Kaz over there. They're both looking down at someone, and Snake's got a gun on somebody. Now, from what I was thinking, that this might be the scene where he kills Quiet, because basically in the trailer, in several trailers, he said that he will be the one to pull the trigger on Quiet. He's gonna kill Quiet when the time comes. But and also you see that the gray sky in the background, like same thing like the African scene, where Quiet was definitely pretty injured. So this could be that scene. But another thing we see here is Snake's holding a revolver. Now he's not holding his regular gun. Now maybe that's saying that other guns that you get in the game will be usable in cutscenes, but I don't think so. I'm thinking this was made like this purposely. I think the person on the ground is not Quiet. That person is Ocelot. Now we know one thing I know is going to happen in this game is by the end of this game, Snake is going to be alone. Like his main three allies are Quiet, Kaz, and Ocelot. And by the end of this game, Snake will be alone. There will be no Ocelot, no Kaz, no Quiet. So, eventually, things have to fall apart between him and all these characters. We know that eventually that Kaz is going to turn on Snake because, Snake's going to go too far. And, this could be the scene where Ocelot breaks off in the group. Maybe something's happened. Maybe Snake, in his paranoia and his downward spiral doesn't trust Ocelot. And he disarms Ocelot and he's basically telling him to go. To leave. Because of course he's not going to kill Ocelot because Ocelot survives through every Metal Gear game anyway. So, except for 4. But, this could be the scene where Ocelot is given his walking papers and he leaves Diamond Dogs. This scene right here, flaming Vulcan dude. Now, here's the thing, my theory with this guy. And I'm going to probably elaborate on this more in another video, but this dude is definitely Vulcan. And you can see, if you remember Metal Gear Solid 3, the way Vulcan died was Vulcan was on top of a tank, controlling it with his electric power, which he has for some reason that was never explained. but he's controlling it with his electric power, and he gets struck by lightning, and so he gets set on fire by the lightning, and all the bullets he has on his body, they basically go off and basically shoot him dozens of times, and that's really the way he dies, you know, or at least that's his demise anyway, you know. And this guy seems like he's Vulcan, you know. I mean, he has firepower, because, you know, probably because Vulcan was special when he died anyway. Maybe he adapted a new power because of how he died. Or, you know, they'll just explain it off like they do everything else in Metal Gear and just say it was nanomachines. Here's another interesting scene. You see Skullface holding a weapon. Now, this is something we have not seen in any trailer before. Now, we've seen Skullface beating up Huey. You know, we've never seen Skullface actually wielding a weapon. So that means Skullface is definitely going to be a boss in this game. And another scene from the hospital. Interesting scene. Interesting thing. I'm gonna go over the next couple scenes here. I think what's going on in the hospital is I think what happens is two armies are basically gonna meet at the hospital, and they're both coming for you for different reasons. I think the people in the suits with the tanks and stuff like that. I think these people are working for Zero. I think they're working for Zero, and they're coming to apprehend you. I don't think they want to kill you per se. I think they want to take you, because Zero doesn't want you to die. Okay, Zero wants you to be the face of his new world order. He wants Snake to be the face of the new world order that he wants to create. He doesn't want you to die. So of course he knows you came out of the coma. He probably is the one who kept you in the hospital in the first place, and he wants to bring you to somewhere else so he can convince you to join his side. Now, I think Skullface finds out the same way everyone else does that you're alive, and he sends, you know, Psycho Manus or Young Manus and Flaming Death Dude to basically or Flaming Vulcan to take you out, to kill you before you get started. You know, and that's why we see Vulcan seemingly just annihilating all these soldiers. And another indication that, you know, this is Zero's men and a very organized army here is we have a tank. Now, it's kind of hard to see because there's so many freaking lens flares that it would make J.J. Abrams blush, but there's this is definitely a tank. And as you see, there's a wheelchair there, so this is definitely a tank at a hospital. So maybe, you know, tanks are called in to try to deal with Vulcan. You know, of course, that probably isn't going to work. And Psycho Manus, we see there with Psycho Manus with more lens flares. We see him, you know, there. Wherever you see Vulcan, you see Manus. So more than likely, they're using Young Manus to control the, you know, Flaming Vulcan. You know, that's probably what's going on there. And that's about it for the trailer. So that's about it for this one. This went on pretty long. But, yeah, that was kind of a lot to talk about in that trailer. So, oh, yeah, that's right. There's one more thing. Another reason for me to hate Konami other than what they're doing to Kojima, and that is this bullcrap. That's right. There is no physical release for PC of Metal Gear Solid 5. And they make sure to tell you that implicitly by, you know, having this up here for like 20 seconds at the end of the trailer. So, yeah, there's no physical release. It's only going to release, at least, I think it's only going to release on Steam. It'll probably release on GOG as well, but, yeah, there's no physical release for this game for PC, which sucks. Because I like physical releases, and I actually picked up a physical release of The Witcher 3, so I wanted to pick up this game as a physical release as well, but I guess you're not going to be able to do that unless you have a console, so thanks, Konami. But yep, that's about it. Like, comment, subscribe, and look out for my other videos.